We painted my $50,000 C10 Suburban with $50 tractor paint, and now we're going to see if we can't get a real good shine on it and see if you can even buff this cheap paint. Oh, it's so aggressive. Ooh, okay, hold on. Oh, you son of a... That hurts so bad. Ah! We are back on the beautiful 1981 Suburban that I got from my buddy Dalton at Polebarngarage. In the last video, we got it painted. I have also ordered every single part for this thing brand new. If you haven't been following along, we rebuilt the engine. It was very bad. It was already bad, and then, Dalton kind of sent it over the edge. It had a broken valve stuck in the piston, still wide open, had a bunch of issues. We got all that fixed. She's running great. She's driving great. Then in the last video, we decided to paint it, broke it all down, took the bumpers off, got it all painted. Naturally, while I had the bumpers off and the lights and all the trim, I said we should buy all that brand new because I'm a masochist, basically. So we have a new rear bumper. Front bumper was okay. All new trim, new mirrors, new lights, new grill, just everything. And because I can't leave anything alone, we decided to go ahead and get a drop kit for it. Switch Suspension sells a C20 3/4 ton. This baby's a 3/4 ton. Drop kit for it. I got that as well. So it is time to finally start finishing this build. Now I just rattled off probably 150 hours worth of work. I have 3 days to get this video done. So I don't know if we're gonna get it all done today, but we are damn sure gonna try. I just don't know what I wanna do first. Oh, also, I just forgot. We have a giant run that we have to sand and paint and buff because the old man's pressure pot that he used to paint, he wanted to do it. I like it. It's actually a lot of fun. It just lays the paint on really good, and this is a slow drying paint. Even though we added a bunch of hardener, it still didn't dry fast enough for a hell of a hanger on these two doors that needs buffed out. I don't know if I want to do that just yet. The paint is dry to the touch, but I don't know if it's ready to be sanded. If you try and sand paint before it's 100% cured, it'll just gum up your paper and you can really make a mess. I mean, if you sand them too soon, you can end up just essentially needing to repaint it. I do not want to do that very badly at all. But it's probably okay to sand. I don't know. I'll figure it out off camera, and then in the next video, we're going to start doing something, I promise. Okay, I've thought about it long and hard. I have decided to do the suspension work first. The reason is because I want to paint the frame and everything under here. And I already did my wheel wells in the last video. They're good. The frame looks like shit though. I want to paint my A-arms. I want to get all that cleaned up and painted. The rear is the same way. We're going to be putting a C-notch in it, but it comes with the kit, so we shouldn't have to get too crazy with it. So now would be a perfect time to get all that painted. And I don't really want my brand new bumpers on there, my brand new grill, just in case, you know, a little bit of undercoating gets on my new parts. That would be very upsetting. Also, I just realized I definitely need to get exhaust tips. I don't give a shit that it's painted right now, but they just look bad. So we need to cut those off and get some chrome exhaust on there. I'll order those as well. So let's dig into the suspension. The rear will probably be easier than the front, and I always like to start on the front or on the harder side first. Let's dig in, baby. Oh, God, this is a big girl too. A lot of people said in my last video, you should never lower a four-wheel drive truck or Blazer or Suburban. Well, just in case you guys didn't know, that is not an axle. This is a two-wheel drive Suburban. So we have wheels coming as well. I don't know if they're going to be here in this video. I'm a big fan of not lowering four-wheel drive stuff, but it's two-wheel drive. It's 3/4 ton. It doesn't really need to be 3/4 ton, especially for what I have planned for it. There is a half-ton conversion that you can do on these, and it makes finding wheels and lowering kits a lot easier, but I kind of like leaving it as a big old girl. If she wants to be a tow pig in her life, it'll be nice to have all that heavier duty stuff just in case we want to do it. So that's why I went with this big C20 kit. My guys at Air Slam It actually sell a C10 kit, but they didn't sell a C20 one. So I hit up Switch Suspension. They hooked it up. I also got new shocks coming for it as well. So yeah, I just want to keep rambling because I don't want to get to work, but I got to get to work. Let's go. Everything on this front end is giant. Even the shock bolts were 13/16 bolts, just huge. The hub nut is like 1.5 inches. The ball joints are huge. I don't even know what size they are. They are huge. I understand it's a big girl, but damn, it's gonna make it a bitch to take it apart. All right, let's see. Also, this is gonna be heavy, I already know. Oh, come here. How's the bearings look? Those are brand new. That makes me happy. Also, new grease. That makes me real happy. Oh, God. Oh, man, that's like 50 pounds. Oh, shit. Wow. Wow. Oh, maybe we should have converted it to half. Holy. Okay. Oh, yeah. That ball joint nut is 1 inch, probably. Oh, God. All right, let's keep going. These lower and upper ball joints are huge, and my 1/2 inch drive breaker bar is currently at my other shop because I took it and was working on the Mercury. If you haven't watched the Mercury video, check it out. I got a very rare Mercury Marauder X100. We broke the engine apart, found out there was a piston seized, but I took basically all my bigger tools because I was beating the hell out of that engine for like a week, up to my dad's house and then at the other shop. So I was gonna run to the other shop and go grab it, but I gotta leave here in a minute to go get my kid from school anyway. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna basically take off all the shit that I have off on this side, on the other side. So whenever I also need a different socket. Whenever I get my 1/2 inch stuff, I can come here and just break those down. So let's go take all this shit off on the driver's side. All right, 50-pound front hub coming off again. Oh, God. Brand new. Again, I love that. That makes me happy. Maybe Dalton changed these? I don't know. I should probably watch his full video on this, but I didn't. Oh, my God. Damn it. I don't know if I'm going to put this brake cover back on. If I do put it back on, I need to clean them up and paint them because they look like shit. Let's keep going. Oh, jeez. This spindle should be ready to come out, I think. Boy, she's just a greasy mess. Somebody has been pumping the ball joint full of grease, even though the boot was broke. So it's a ball in there. Oh yeah, no, you're free. Oh, God. Jeez. Damn. 3/4 ton stuff is huge. Man, look at that. Oh, damn. Now, hopefully, in theory, you should just be able to let the jack down off of the, damn it, I might have to take the sway bar off. I probably gotta take the sway bar off, but usually you can just let this down and the spring should have enough clearance to go. Sway bar is gonna catch. Sway bar is not gonna catch, well, maybe. Sway bar's catching. All right, we gotta undo some more stuff. Also, if it ever doesn't wanna come all the way out, just cut it. So much easier, especially if you have a plasma cutter like I do right there. Sway bar probably has to come off either way. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe we just cut it. She's got some tension still. I don't know. We're going to figure something out. Great news. Sway bar being disconnected. Looks like we should have plenty of room. Maybe. Did I speak too soon? No, she's coming. Come on, get out there. Yeah! Look at that freaking spring. Holy crap. This thing is built like a literal tank. We should put everything back together, but boy, it would be nice to just get it all cleaned up and painted right now. Let's go strip the other side, and then I think I'll take a wire wheel, spend a bunch of time, and maybe we just paint everything at once. I don't hate that idea. We might get the other side broken down and then just start on the rear. That way we can just paint the whole frame at once. Boy, that'd be a lot easier. Let's do that. I like that idea. It's kind of a pain in the ass, though, but I like it. Let's go. Oh, also, my shocks showed up today. Check out those. This is a hell of a kit. I am very impressed. Switch suspension, hit them up. I don't have a discount code or anything, but very nice kit. I like it when they come with the shocks. And then it also has shock extenders if whenever you get your lift in, your shock kind of has a funky angle. It moves it forward a little bit to get better shock angle. Pretty damn good. Let's get this side done. There we go. Come on, you big heavy bastard. God dang it. Sway bar's already undone. Let's see if we can get lucky 2 times in a row. Go slow, go slow. A lot of potential energy. Yeah. Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, got me right in the knee. Oh, God, that hurts so bad. You son of a... Oh, God, that's a heavy spring. Oh, man. Damn it. The knee pad didn't save me. Shit. Why am I wearing these things? God. Oh. Oh, that was good. Okay. All right. Yeah, we got to clean this up. It's so bad. There's so much. Look at the grease. Oh, man. I should really put new boots on this, but I'm worried that I won't be able to get them because they're so big. But I might stop by the parts store tomorrow when I take my kid to school and see if we can't maybe get some new boots because these are just ripped. Ball joints seem pretty good. Well, that one's a little loose. That one's new. That's not the end of the world, but it's not great. How much of a bitch are these to change? I think these ones suck. Yeah, we'll be all right for now. Yeah, they're pressed in, I think. Yeah, okay. They're not bad enough that they need changed. I would normally, well, they're not too bad. They're okay. They'll be fine. You should change them while you're doing that, but those suck. Those are press-ins, I think. Okay, let's go get started on the rear. If I don't get the rear done tonight, at least I can get the front cleaned up and painted, but I'd love to just paint it all at once. So let's see what happens. Oh, I don't know how hard the rear is going to be, but I know the rear end is very heavy. Oh, God, my knee is killing me. All right, I haven't started back here yet, but just looking at it, this is not going to be the most fun job in the world. If this was a half-ton, you can, what this is a flip axle kit. So your axle is underneath the leaf springs, as you can see. A flip kit puts it on top of the leaf springs, so you get all that drop from it being on top. I've probably done 50 flipped leaf spring kits in my life. It's not that big of a deal. The only problem we're running into on a 3/4 ton, as you can see, there's not a ton of room there on top of the leaves. That's why we have a C-notch, but it's still going to be kind of tricky. I'm glad that we have the tank out. I had to take the tank out because it was rusty. I have a new tank, but there's a reason I left it out was because I knew this was going to involve some cutting. The problem with it being a 3/4 ton is whenever it's a half ton, you can kind of just undo maybe your front leaves, pull your axle up, and then just slide it over the top, and then bolt your leaf spring back up. That's not going to be possible on this big old heavy girl. So I think I'm going to have to take the leaf spring entirely off and then put it underneath the axle and then bolt it back up. And unfortunately, the bolts that are holding these leaf springs are giant. The U-bolts themselves are like 1.25 inches. I mean, just huge. And then that front one looks like it's 1 inch, and then the backs are even bigger. I don't know. 1 1/8 inches. I mean, just big boy stuff. So yeah, this one's gonna fight us. I can already tell. We're gonna need a lot of heat, a lot of muscle, and the problem is all this shit is in weird spots where I don't think I can get an impact. I know I can't get it on the front. I know I can't get it on the U-bolts. I might be able to get it in the back. Another bad thing, whenever you have to move the axle out of the way that much, you gotta disconnect your brakes, disconnect your U-joint, disconnect your drive shaft, disconnect your e-brake cables, all that crap. On a smaller one, like I said, you can kind of just wiggle it up there. but I don't see that happen with this big boy. So let's get to getting and see what happens. I have a feeling we're gonna be cutting a lot of shit here real shortly, but let's find out together. Well, we try to do it the nice way, but I'm tired of asking nicely. And I have it on a jack stand. I have it on 2 jacks, not jack stands. Maybe I need to get another one before we get too cute. This is a heavy bitch. Oh no, we're good. She's out, she's out, she's out. Yeah! Okay, good. Damn it, I was time-lapsing, so we missed it. But I have a jack under here, a jack under the pumpkin, and then a jack stand on the other side. I cut the very top of one of the U-joint bolts, not the whole thing, just the bolt. It shot out, hit the top of the inner fender, and then went over there. This thing is so heavy. Just everything is under a ton of pressure. But I've tried to loosen everything and nothing wants to loosen. So this is the way to go. But holy shit, if you're ever working on heavy stuff, be careful. I'm being extra careful. And when I cut it, I made sure I was like way out here. But yeah, damn. She's got some weight to her, baby. All right, we should be good. One more cut. Why are you still holding on? There we go. Jeez. Was an old glove that caught on fire. That's fun. I think everything's loose. I should be able to take this out. Should be able to drop the rear end. Okay. It's free, but it's stuck on the jack, and I'm not going to try and move it yet. That's fine for now. I'm going to cut the rear perches. It's not the best way to do it, but that's how we're going to do it, because I can't get anything else to come off. I can cut the perches, and then I just got to put 4 bolts in, and we're done. But the problem is the rivets are huge. I should be able to just buzz the tops of them off. And then everything should be loose, I think. Maybe. I don't know. I said should a couple times. That's never good. Let's see what happens. Why did that go, wait, why did that go forward? That should be unhooked. Shouldn't that have fell down, not went forward? Oh, are we cooked? What happened? Yeah! God, you're a heavy girl. Oh my God. Holy crap. Oh, goodness gracious. Come on, let the jack out. Damn. Gotta rotate it all the way around to get that. Yeah! The jack's out, but now it's stuck. I got it stuck upside down. Come on, baby. Come. Yes! God, that's a big rear end. I gotta roll this thing back somehow. I might have to pull it with my truck, I just realized. Will it roll on here? Yeah, it might roll. Maybe. Let's see what happens. Oh, God. That was a pain in the butt. Check it out. The baby is born. Woo, that is a heavy rear end. And what made this trickier than it needed to be was the front bolts were frozen, wouldn't move. I put a 6-foot breaker on them, wouldn't move. Heated them up till they were basically cherry red, would not move. And what happens, there is a sleeve inside the leaf spring, and it's metal. People think it's just rubber in there. No, it's metal, and then it's rubber around the metal. And the bolts, over time, since they've never came out, they literally will freeze solid to the piece of metal inside there. The rubber's still good. Nothing's, you know, wonky or wanting to wiggle anything. It's just frozen solid, but it can still pivot this way, so it's okay to use. The problem is, without the front coming out, you can take all these bolts out. The rear end can't get past the perch. The leaf spring can't get past the perch. It'll never drop down because it sits a little bit more forward than that. And these just don't flex. Especially these big ones don't flex. So I cut the whole perch off. Some people might go, Casey, you're a crazy person. This is actually an old school way to lower them. I've done this a bunch of times. What you could do, if you only wanted to drop it like 2 inches, and you didn't want to buy, you know, a kit, even though they sell real cheap lowering kits, this is a way you go about it. You cut all the rivets out, and I'm going to drill all these so they're smooth, and then we still have the rivets on the frame that we got to pop out, and then that will go right back in there. Since we're not dropping it, our drop kit is from flipping our axle. I don't need to mess with it. You'll just bolt that in with grade A bolts, and then you're good to go. And this is a way to do it if you ever need to move the wheelbase on something. You know, if you're making something longer, making something shorter, you just drill all those out or grind them and hit them with a plasma like I did. And you can slide the whole thing wherever you need to. We don't need to do the fronts. Fronts are fine. We just need to do that so we can get this big old heavy ass rear end up here now. But I still need to cut the bump stops out. We're not going to need this anymore. And then we're going to have to cut the frame because we have a drop kit, or a C-notch that came with our drop kit. The only thing I'm worried about is I think the C-notch is for a truck, so we might have to do some trimming because we do not want to lose this body mount right here. They told me that whenever I bought it. I said, that's fine, I'll figure it out whenever it's time. I think I'll have enough room to just kind of trim the C-notch out, and then we'll probably weld it in. I like them better when they're welded in, but you can bolt them in. It's not the end of the world. So what I was going to do is get all this cleaned up, but it is 2 o'clock in the morning, and I have to get up in a couple hours, take my kids to school, and try and be a normal person. So we're going to come in tomorrow, cut these off. My gas tank straps are froze. I got to get those cut off too while we're in here. And then I want to get all this shit cleaned up and get it painted. That's a lot to do for one day tomorrow, but we'll be back. Also, my knee has a bruise on it about this big. It hurts like hell. That spring got me. So it's only fair. You know, I've been cutting on her, hurting her. She doesn't realize it now, but I'm building her back better. But she could, you know, sometimes these cars get a little angry and you got to just take the punishment. We'll be back tomorrow, baby. Whew, what a big old rear end. Damn, she thick.
The next day.
All right, baby, we're back. I got to get the bump stops out of there. I got to do some cutting, and then we got to do some painting. I don't want to, well, I don't know. I might put those in, weld them, and then paint, but I might also bolt them in. I'm not sure yet. Either way, super excited the wheels came in. Look at that. It's like a stock 80s Steely. I mean, technically an 80s would be smooth, but I kind of like that look. It looks like an old steel wheel with a badass hubcap. Finding wheels for 8 lugs are tricky. They're usually like $3 or $4 grand. These things were on sale for $200 each. I couldn't beat it. And I love them. I just threw the hub on there to make sure my back spacing is good. Everything is great. Oh, man, those are going to look good. Also, check this out. Icon is coming out with a G2 setup. I think it's their, like, second version. I have no idea. So my guys at Harbor Freight hooked me up. This is a really good-looking setup. 1/2 inch, 3/8, 1/4 inch. They always send me 2 of everything because I have 2 shops. They're the best. Love them. Oh, can't wait to try these out. I'm going to beat the hell out of these things. If it's anything like any of their Icon stuff I've used before, it'll hold up perfect. So, super happy about that. Oh, I love opening boxes. Okay, we got to get to work, damn it. Let's go. We're just going straight into cutting. No cute shit. Let's just cut some shit. all this crap up. Look at all the grease and grime and dirt that I got out. Oof. The crazy thing is I already blew this out once. Holy crap. I'm gonna blow it out again and then we should be able to finish up the rear end. Whew. All right, we spent the entire day getting this cut the rest of the way and then cleaned up. Definitely didn't need to get it this clean. It's just a truck, you know, it's just a Suburban. It's no big deal. But there was a lot of just old grease and grime on there. I wanted to get it off. I want to paint it, hit everything with a wire wheel, sanded it, grinded it, just way better than we needed to go. But looks really good. Front end looks even better. Here is the problem. We have our C-notch and it needs cut. And I already marked where the center of the rear end was because that's where my old bump stop was. Now, in theory, you would think... Now, what's cool about this kit, it has a mark for the center. You would think, well, Casey, throw that up there, you know, get to fitting it, because that's where it's going to go. Never do that. I have done a ton of these, and I have learned from experience. Sometimes, whenever you install a flip kit, your axle can move just a little bit. It's usually not enough to matter, because this is a pretty wide C-notch. The ones I've done before, you can take like a big... you know, 6-inch tube and cut it in half. And then you just have to cut, you know, a circle out. And those can be tight enough where, you know, a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, you can kind of throw it off center. And even though I have more room here, it's a habit now. I want to get the rear end back in there underneath the leaf springs and then get it lifted up until it hits the frame. And then we will know exactly where it needs to go. I have a feeling it should line up probably dead straight where it's marked before, but it's just good to do it that way. It sucks to do it that way as far as paint, because it would be a lot easier to paint it now while it's all broken apart. If I was going for like a full-blown restoration, I'd put the rear end in there, jack it up, get it marked, get this cut, get it welded in, pull the rear end back out, paint everything. We're not doing all that. I'm going to get the rear end in there, jack it up, and then drop it back down and then probably just leave it there. Hopefully I have enough room to still cut everything, but that is a big rear end, so it might kind of be in my way. But yeah, either way, it's what you have to do. And then the only thing we are going to have to change, because this is a truck kit, they don't make a Suburban kit, all we got to do is notch this little ear off a little bit, because Suburbans have a body mount right here. Now, some people would go, you're losing all your strength. That's very bad. I'm welding this in anyway. Having this welded in is strong enough as it is. You not only weld it in, but we bolt it too. And what's cool about this kit, it will bolt from the bottom, which is really nice. So it ties into everything, not just one side. Some of these kits, they just tie it into one side of the frame. And it's really okay because you're not completely cutting the frame out. You're just cutting a big chunk out of it. But it's not going to be that big of a deal, but I do want to bolt it and weld it just for a little bit of extra strength. I just realized as I'm doing this, I have fuel lines behind this one, so I need to move those out of there before we get too cute. But yeah, let's roll that big bitch back in here. It will roll over those perches. It might not. That's going to make it tricky. And then we'll get her sitting up in there and hopefully get it marked. Let's go. Goodness gracious, this is a big girl. You got to get like different jack stands, a block of wood. And sure enough, after we do all that, it is exactly in line with the mark. So I am not moving it. I really want it kind of out of the way. We're going to make it work. There's no way I'm moving this big bastard again. I still got to wiggle it to get it up there. But I should be able to cut it here, C-notch in there, and probably get it welded and bolted and all that good stuff, and then paint it. And then we really need to let the paint dry for like 12 hours. So I don't know what the hell we're going to do because it is currently Friday at 2 a.m. So we might tackle that big-ass run after all and then paint it, let it set, and then Tuesday's video we will be basically finishing this thing. We have the wheels. I already have the tires ordered. They're at the tire shop. So we should be able to put all the trim on, put the old girl back together, finish up the drop kit, and go from there. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We still have to do a lot of work to get those in. So yeah, let's cut some shit, baby. Oh! All right, we got the C-notch in. It goes up pretty high. I have it to where everything is bolted in. It's actually really strong. And I thought it would go up a little bit more, but right now, the bottom bolt is at the bottom of the frame rail. I think it's okay. I'm not gonna weld it. I'm gonna paint it as is, and then we'll put the rear end in there, and if it gives us any crap, what I can do is basically eliminate the bottom bolt, and it'll go up another inch or so, but I'll have to cut the template a little bit and then get it up there. But all the pictures I've seen online, mine looks exactly like they are on the other trucks. So it should be good, but if we need to, we can kind of wiggle that a little bit more. That's why I'm not gonna weld it right now. Also, these bolts are giant, and there's like 8 of them in there on the bottom and top and sides. So, pretty good, but we gotta go do the other side still. Damn it, let's go. Oh, shit. Okay, baby. Ooh, that one moved a little more than I wanted to. Okay. Done! Oh my gosh. Holy crap, that sucked. Good news is, we can paint now, but we're gonna try and sand this giant run out first. Okay, I would normally make the old man do this. He would probably give a better lesson than me. I am the welder fabricator. He is the paint guy, but I have buffed a lot of shit. So, normally, if you were buffing a car for shine, you know, to get like the orange peel out of it, make it look really smooth, you'd start with like 1500. When you have this bad of a run, you need to go pretty aggressive. You probably like 800. I can't find the 800. I have 500, 1000, and 15. So we're gonna go with 500. That's a little aggressive, but this is a hell of a run. And it goes right into my two-tone white. So I threw a bunch of tape down. You really want to build up your tape because it's super easy to sand right through it. I do not want to have to buff the white. So, let's see. I have buffed a lot of stuff. I've never buffed tractor paint. So, I've buffed really cheap car paint, which is essentially what this is with hardener. So, let's see what happens. Also, you want to get your paper wet or spray this down with water. I've already been soaking the paper the whole time I've been working on the rear end, so it's been soaking for a while. Let's see what happens. Hopefully she's dry enough. Oh, it's so aggressive. Ooh, okay, hold on. Let's go back down. Let's go to 15 and see what happens. Oh shit. Biggest problem with a 1500 and a run this big is you could potentially be sanding for 3 hours. But we're going to take it real easy. I don't know how dry this paint is yet. Coming through a little bit on that edge, but that's okay. Oh, we got trim for that. That's all right. Let's see. Gumming up on me a little bit, but it's actually knocking it down. My white is coming through right on that edge. So I might need to put a little more paint up there. The good news is I have a 1/2 inch trim piece that goes here, so I'm not too worried about that. We might go with hand sanding and see what happens. Oh, that run is still huge. Never mind. I'm gonna play with this for a little bit. We'll see what happens. Little sander was the key. This bucket of water is definitely big enough, isn't it? Ooh. Okay, we got it out. The problem is it rolled off this edge, but my trim should cover all that, so it should be good. Okay, the run is out. Now, we gotta buff it. Oh. All right, we are going with a very light cut first, because we got basically everything out of this. Woo, that's not bad. That's not bad. Oh shit, we might already knocked it out. Ooh. That's not bad. This white line looks scary, but I promise the trim will cover it. All right, let's go with... Damn, that cleaned up a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. Let's go with a... Where'd I put my real light cut? All right, hold on. I got to find a buffing pad. Shit. I actually started with the softest pad first. Well, that worked out great. Now, this is basically just for swirl marks. Ultra fine machine polish. Ooh, shit, that ain't bad at all, baby. Wow, this worked out much better than I thought. This came out better than I expected. Now, make sure you don't use a good soft towel like a smart person. Find an old hoodie that's been sitting around the shop for a year. And then if you want to go another step, it's actually hand polish that's really good. Holy shit, we did it. Wow. Our run is out. We got a little bit of orange peel we could work out. I don't know if I care enough to get all my orange peel out, but let me show you. Whoo! It's going to be hard to focus in on this, but I promise you the run was bad. Check it out. So, it started here and then ran down real bad over here. This was by far the worst part. It's hard to focus. And we did burn through here. Our tape didn't hold up, but like I said, I have a 1/2-inch piece of trim that runs down that whole edge. So we're good there, but I'm extremely happy with that. Also, I didn't even sand up here, but I hit it real quick just to kind of get some of it out. It's got a little bit of orange peel that you could work out, but it's still shined up a hell of a lot better than the spots I didn't do. So you can kind of tell there. Ooh, not bad at all for $50 a gallon paint. Sweet. Okay, so you can buff cheap-ass tractor paint. Ha! All right, let's shoot some undercoating on this thing. We're gonna call this a video. Everything is cleaned up. Everything looks good. Got the C-notch in. Let's shoot some undercoating and then I'm going to bed. Now we were gonna go with the turbo can, but Poppy's Patina makes a really good truck bed liner. I've used this a bunch of times. I dig them. And it comes with the gun that screws right into the can. You just gotta add hardener. And this stuff, you can adjust the spray, but it will spray like a rhino lining. See? Oh, I love it. Now, a smarter person would have covered those threads, but hey, I've never claimed to be smart. Also, I'm trying not to hit my calipers because I'm going to spray those with high heat paint. Ooh, that looks good. Now the rest of that I can clean up with high heat paint. Ooh, I need to get under there. There we go. Okay. I am going to run around and do the rest of this real quick, and then I'll show you the end, basically. We got to time lapse it. Also, I need to turn the attic fan on because this stuff stinks. I don't know how good this shows on camera, but it looks amazing. That truck bed liner shoots out so thick that, first off, pause, ayo. The notch that we put in is like 3/8 inch thick plate. It just looks like it's molded in now because of how thick that shit is. Also, we did under the frame. Woo-hoo-hoo! Now, I had my high heat paint, and I hit basically my sway bars and a little bit of the calipers. The calipers I can't really paint until they are installed, but once they get installed and, you know, my brake lines are ran the way they are, or the way they need to be, I will repaint that. But, man, I'm so happy with how this came out. I mean, it damn near looks powder-coated. Big fan of that stuff. Did we need to go this far with it? No, but man, is it nice to just get a mountain of grease. It was literally a 1/2 inch thick on the bottom of these A-arms. The tops were real bad, too. You couldn't see the ball joint rivets because it was just covered. So, very happy. It absolutely stinks in here. Super happy that we got the buffing done. I wasn't quite sure we were going to pull that off. And we got basically all of the hard work done on the lowering part. The rear end pretty much ended up being harder than the front, like I thought. But now, really all we got to do is throw springs in, throw spindles in. I mean, that's like an hour-long job on the front end. And then we just got to get the rear end bolted up. So, also, all new shocks, very happy about. And, yeah, new wheels and tires. And then we can finally start putting trim on, new door handles, new mirrors, new grill, new trim around there. I got 1/2 inch chrome trim that goes all the way around the two-tone. Oh, it's going to be so good. So stoked. Next video will be on Tuesday. We're going to stay on the Suburban. I think I can get it all the way done by then, which will be huge. Be good to button up this build. Everything is basically brand new on this thing, and I'm just so happy with it. Oh my God. I have got to wrap this outro up. It is currently, 4:47 on Friday. This video should go up at 2 p.m., maybe a little bit late because I got to get some sleep. Somebody left a comment on one of my last videos that said, Casey is the hardest working YouTuber on YouTube. I thought that was great. I kind of took that to heart. Everybody on YouTube works their ass off. I'm certainly not the hardest worker, but I do bust my ass a lot, so it's nice. Being a one-man show sucks. I really got to get some more people in here. The old man is semi-retired. He was supposed to do all this shit. He's done nothing. He was supposed to have the CRX basically painted by now, but it's a different story. We're not going to yell at him about it. Son of a bitch. But for the coolest merchandise on the planet, go to caseyscustoms.com. A bunch of new designs, a bunch of new shirts, beanies. I actually love these beanies. The first logo we did was a little too big. I kind of like the smaller logo. Big fan. If you are not subscribed, please hit that button now. It helps the channel grow a bunch. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, comment, all the good shit they tell you at the end of videos, and check out some more of my other videos. Peace! I love ya. Toothless Customs out. Appointments on Thursday next week. We're getting this thing taken care of. Might have to do a gold tooth because the comments want it. What do you guys think? Maybe we do diamonds. Just get a grill up in this bitch. All right, I'm going to bed. Peace, love ya.